Through the Queen's Gate that holds a bronze lion, I follow the Royal Avenue to where I want to go. I pass the bandstand, the crescent, an all-torn tennis ball, and I find where I have been heading to, the Botanical Gardens of Bath. I don't go far in at first because I am struck by the sight of one beautiful tree. Its name I didn't know turns out to be Prunus pendula plena rosea. Branches abound with buds and flowers, spilled to the ground like water purging from a fountain. Off-white petals, stark and bright, contrast against the base coat of greens and browns that the gardens paint. Drooping Rosebud cherry, its common name, is poised, pretty, in bloom. I sit on a weathered bench dedicated to Charles Hall, who loved these gardens, and soon realise as I gaze at the veil of petite petals that I am not the only one drawn in. A small girl, barely 5, skips through the hanging shroud of spring and twirls around the trunk. Another girl, a couple of years taller, makes her move in. She gives the strand a yank and goes. The humdrum of traffic plays the bass tone to the gardens. The distant sound of cars is mellow, whilst the grumbled roar of a Harley-Davidson goes up the road and a siren bleats. Above the deep tones, I can hear a melody. Something that sounds like a cheeky gopher squeaks from another tree. Birds cheep cheep, and a bumblebee hovering below the bench where I sit hums. On the same sheet of music, a rustle from behind leads my eye to a robin in a bush. Tiny midges dance in the sky between me and the tree. Like painted horses on a merry-go-round, they dart up and down in lines. It seems pointless somehow. Those who stop to admire the tree don't see me lounging on the bench. The eccentrics, young and old, dog walkers too, all pause to smell the aroma of the flora. "This is nice," says one man. "Look, a bee." "I can see," says the child. Then it is Grandad's time to hide. Ready or not, here I come. 1, 2, 3. A rattle of a scooter comes from around the corner. A boy wearing a hood that says, "Just do it," stops to adjust his glasses. The mother says, "Look at that tree, so lovely, it's like an umbrella." The boy, with his shocking fluorescent laces, scoots on past. The trunk curves a smidgen, and above the tree some wasps are whizzing among the flowers. Beneath the dangling branches, dropped petals lie on the grass like confetti. 4 girls come bouncing in to have their photo taken under the snow tree. That's what they call it. "Can we have another one?" the shortest one squeals. "Yes, okay, smile." Huddled smallest to tallest, "Ew," one yells, "dog poo." Then they bounce through the daffs like yapping young pups. On a bare branch of another tree, I see the rise and fall of a wood pigeon's chest as it says cuckoo coo, and a squirrel scampers past. I look down to my feet on the path. Cracks in the tarmac, lined with furry green moss, fork towards the sound of a fizzle coming from the plastic wheels on a pram, mum on her phone while the baby grizzles. The clouds bleed tones of pastel greys. One solitary gull soars in the sky. Rays from the sun ooze out and nature casts its shadows. Wispy breaths of air make the branches waver, and a tiny bird with a pretty face darts below the cascade, doing its own masquerade. I take a sniff of a tree and let the fragile petals tickle my nostrils. The delicate touch is delightful.